This year, I want to go on the missions trip because I went last year. It was a lot of fun. We got to help people out, and it was just a really fun experience for me, so I want to do it again this year.
Last year I went on the missions trip because it was freaking awesome, and me as a person, I just love to travel. I like going around the world. I've been to Turkey, I've been to different places in Europe. So New Mexico was just a cool idea. Everything's always fun.
And I don't really know what to expect there. I have an idea, but it could be different every year, so I was just expecting experiences, and I definitely got it.
So when we got there, we were staying in a really small little like Christian school that was right on the very edge of the town. It was just two classrooms, so we had the guys in one room and the girls in the other, and then there were some bathrooms as well as some really disgusting porta potties outside, and we ate under like a really big tent that had a bunch of tables underneath it, and the tent was held down by almost nothing, so it blew away in the wind a lot, and it was right next to like a really cool playground, so we got to play a bunch of fun games on that. And then when we ate, they would just cook it in the kitchen of this church that was right nearby, and then bring it out for us and have it all set up on tables and all ate together.
So every day we would like get up and we'd go, and I would pack my lunches. They had tables set out with just all kinds of stuff you can put on sandwiches and chips and fruit and all granola bars, everything. And so every day I would, we'd like make our lunches, we'd make our own lunches, we'd put them in our coolers for like our work crew, so we didn't get mixed up with any other teams, because that would suck to not have lunch because you got really hungry working every day. It was just really fun, just kind of having like, it was very like family style with lots of like long tables and just sitting with our group. Like, we were just a really big family and just talking and laughing and being ridiculous even at 7:15.
Yeah, so the work site we had the farthest work site away from where we were staying. I think it was like 45 minutes, maybe an hour out. And I mean, for the most part, it was just one really, really long road out in the middle of nowhere. We had to go through a bunch of really cool canyons and stuff to get out there. And on the way there, we listened to a lot of music and we danced in the van, so it was pretty fun.
On the construction site, there was one house, and then there was almost a shack, but they were two different places. Next to the shack, we were building a new house. It was all sand, and so there was already the support up and part of the walls. There was siding up that we ended up having to take down and put back up because it was a little crooked. And then by the other house, we were just redoing the tiles on the floor because there was holes in the ground, and that's not very good if you're trying to live there.
Once we got going and we actually started working, it was really cool to see our team band together and doing our absolute best, and just doing our absolute best because, like I kept saying to the kids throughout the week was, if this was our house, would we want people to do half of a job on it, or would we want them to do their best because, this means a lot to them and it would mean a lot to us if it were our house. So it was really cool seeing our team just working together and just doing what needed to be done and messing around and having fun, but working really hard at the same time.
Our group played with the kids a ton because we had plenty of people. So one good thing that we did when people didn't have anything to do was just play with the kids. And that turned out really well.
And there was this one little girl, Tanya, and she was always out. The first day she was out there saying hi to people, asking for piggyback rides, and that was really fun. But by the end of it, there was probably I think 8 of them. 8 little kids just running around, laughing and having fun, pulling people around, asking them for piggyback rides. Just, we got to really reach out to the little ones.
Tanya was probably 3 or 4 years old maybe, and she couldn't talk very much, but the first day we were there, someone just kind of came up to me and was like, okay, it's your turn to play with Tanya now. So I just kind of walked around with her, and I blew up a rubber glove and made it into a balloon for her, and she drew on it and thought it was the coolest thing on the planet. And then the next day when I came back, a bunch of people that were working with us were running around with the kids on their backs, so Tanya came up to me and I put her up on my shoulders and we started running around the house. So I told her that if she wanted me to run, she'd have to say run, and then the next day when we got there, the first thing she did was come up to me and demand a ride, and then started telling me to run around. So yeah, it was pretty fun.
Now I sleep the hours that I can't weep, and all I knew was...
So the chapel service that they had was basically we went down to a church that was in Crown Point, and they had a bunch of people that worked for Next Step that did their own worship, and they had a whole video series that they were doing.
Probably my favorite part of being there and being in New Mexico was the different things that they were talking about in the chapel time overall. It's just the worship we had, because as me a person, that's where I feel closest to God. So with the chapel, it's just we just learned, we saw all these videos, and just we washed people's feet, and we nailed stuff to the cross, and we just were able to let go, and just I felt really close to God every single time I went to chapel.
The messages in chapel every night kind of hit home, because I was saying, God's been really showing me just focus on the next step, whatever that may be, and that's what the message was every single night. And it was just kind of God reiterating that He's in control and I'm not. I need to suck it up and let God be in control.
So all must be well. Just give me time.
But no, it was really cool just getting to know everybody better and just really getting that sense of camaraderie between us. Because I feel a lot of us feel very lost and mixed up, and we don't fit in with the high school or the college or wherever we go in life, wherever we are in life. I feel a lot of us feel we don't necessarily fit in because we are Christians and we're nerdy and weird and whatever. And I feel just being able to sit down and talk and get to know each other and just bonding together even more so than we already are because of that was just really cool throughout the week.
Just one of the things I want to bring back from here is just the joy. I saw so much joy in the eyes of the little kids, and just the people and the women who are up there singing in their national language, and just I want to be a Christian, and that was just one of the songs, and just that joy is what I want to bring back. I want to see that here.
I really wanted to go on the missions trip, especially New Mexico, because I always had a really large heart for missions. A few years ago, I went on my first missions trip to Ireland, and it was crazy and ridiculous. It was 6 weeks long. As much fun as it was, I didn't feel like we were tangibly helping the people that we were with, and that was really discouraging because there's a lot of just Bible studies and working in the church, but I wanted to be more tangibly helping people, and I love the whole idea of Next Step and the fact that they they go out and they go into hard parts of the country and they build and they provide for people who don't have the means to provide for themselves. One of the work sites we were working on, it was an 8 by 10 foot hut with 10 people living in it, and that family couldn't afford a new house. That's why we were building a new house, and I just love that whole, I want to be able to give to people who can't afford to have really nice things. And living in Fountain Hills, like a place like Fountain Hills, it's just, we're so blessed and we have so much, and being able to feel like I'm going out and giving a little bit of that, a little bit of my heart, a little bit of myself and God, and hopefully showing Christ to people through helping them and giving them something that they need and they deserve, because, you know, they're just as equal human beings as I am, my family. I really like that whole idea with Next Step, and I think that was a lot of my heart for going on the missions trip.